Dana White's Contender Series 2021 Week 7 full card prediction. The main event, Junior Cortez and Christian Rodriguez in the Bantamweight division. Junior Cortez is actually Tracy Cortez's brother, which is very, very interesting. We got Martin Midday and Lorenzo Hood in the Heavyweight division. Jake Hadley and Mitch Raposo, an Ultimate Fighter alumni, in the Flyweight division. Slava, Borschev and Chris Duncan in the Lightweight division. Maria Silva and Katherine in the Women's Strawweight division right there. We're also going to pull up the betting odds right here because there are some underdogs that I do have winning, and a couple of fights I think are a lot closer than the betting odds right there. But if you want to see which one of these fights I am going to be betting on, go to the description of the video right now, and you can become a member to see whatever bets I'm making for UFC, Bellator, PFL, Contender Series, and many, many more. But we go on to the Women's Strawweight division first right here. Katherine and Maria Silva in the Women's Strawweight division. Both of them are very, very solid strikers. Maria Silva has very good kickboxing, really good jabs, 1-2s. Katherine also has really good kickboxing, jabs, 1-2s. The striking is going to be very, very even. I'm really not too sure who's going to be having the advantage in that part of the game, because Maria Silva has not had a fight in the last 2 years, whereas Katherine has fought only 3 months ago. So the striking, I'm getting a little worried because I don't know how good Maria Silva's striking has improved in the last couple of years. But either way, I do think the striking is going to be very, very even. It really is going to come down to who can implement the grappling and wrestling a little bit better. Katherine and Maria Silva both have blue belts in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, so they're both very, very well versed in the grappling and wrestling game. Out of her 3 wins, she's got 2 decision wins over 0-0 fighters, 1 submission loss, and then 1 submission win right there. A pretty good grappling. I mean, she showed some really, really solid submission skills in her last fight. Maria Silva, pretty much all of those wins at being finishes, except for 1 right there. First round knockout, first round submission, first round guillotine, and then a first round knockout right there. So she has the knockout power in her hands, and she also has the submission threat on the ground as well. But Katherine and Maria Silva, the grappling is going to be very even. The striking is going to be very even, but the wrestling is where I really want to look at the fight, because Katherine, I don't know if her wrestling is as good as Maria Silva. Maria Silva really loves to get your back to the cage, get the body lock, trip you down, and then just start ground pounding the heck out of you. If she can just do that, take down Katherine Katherine is like, all right, I'm just going to start looking for submissions. If she's not able to land that submission on Maria Silva, Maria is just going to keep on ground pounding on top, and that could be a way for Maria Silva to get a decision win, as well as Katherine is taking this fight on short notice, so that could limit her in the cardio department of the fight. But Maria Silva, I believe she's going to have the cardio advantage as it is a short notice fight, and she's going to have the wrestling advantage, with the grappling and striking being very, very even. But the wrestling, I think she's going to be able to take down Katherine and ground pound her to a decision right here. The striking, I really think the volume is going to be even. The power in which they're laying that volume is going to be even. The jiu-jitsu is going to be even. It's really just going to be how well can Maria Silva land the takedowns and control Katherine on the ground, which I think she'll do a very, very good job of. So right now, the betting odds, minus 175. I definitely agree with that. Maria Silva should be right around where she is. If you look at the prop bets right here, I don't know what's up with the prop bets, minus 10,000, but hopefully we can get some odds in the next couple of days. But overall, Katherine and Maria Silva, my prediction is Maria Silva winning that fight by a 29-28 decision. I can see one of the rounds just because of how tough Katherine is, and the fact that she really loves to put pressure in the striking. Maybe she can use that to win one of the rounds, but the other 2 rounds, at least, Maria Silva will be able to win using the wrestling and ground pound. So this fight in the women's strawweight division goes Maria Silva by unanimous decision. Really good fight in the women's strawweight division right there. Chris Duncan and Slava Borschev in the lightweight division. Chris Duncan, he just got a cancellation in his last fight. I'm really not too sure why. It was against Manuel Gashka on Dana White's Contender Series. Gashka fell ill due to a botched weight cut, so sadly that fight did not end up happening. But now Chris Duncan on short notice, actually Slava Borschev on short notice, is going to be fighting Chris Duncan. But Slava Borschev has has amazing kickboxing. The wrestling and grappling advantage goes Chris Duncan. The power advantage goes Chris Duncan. The pressure advantage goes Chris Duncan. But the kickboxing does go Slava Borschev, who's going to be the taller and lengthier striker right here. So if Slava Borschev is going to win the fight, he needs to stay away from the wrestling and grappling of Chris Duncan and stay away from the pressure of Chris Duncan. We all know the first round is always a little bit laid back. They're both trying to find the range, but in the second and third round, Chris Duncan really goes out there and puts on the pressure. So if Slava Borschev is going to win the fight, he needs to keep range, jab, 1-2, body kick, knees in the clinch if Chris Duncan is going to be going for takedowns, and he just needs to keep the fight at range and kickbox, as he is going to be the way better kicker in this fight with Chris Duncan. So he needs to do that, keep range, defend the takedowns, knees in the clinch, and just stay at range and win the fight by decision. That is the main way I see Slava Borschev winning, but the main way I see his opponent, Chris Duncan, winning is literally just pressure, and then mixing in some takedowns. I believe he has more power than Slava Borschev, has more pressure than Slava Borschev, and he's got the better wrestling than Slava Borschev. So the ingredients to beat a guy that's so good in the kickboxing department, who has so many amateur and professional kickboxing fights like Slava Borschev, is literally not to allow them that range so they're able to land the kick. So pressure, come forward on Slava Borschev and just get his back to the cage and do what you always do, just like you did on Dana White's Contender Series and many times. Get his back to the cage and literally just starts throwing some really big shots. And for that reason, I am going to go Chris Duncan winning this fight by knockout in the second or third round. It's never in the first round. He doesn't really like to put on that much pressure in the first round, but once he finds that range, in the second and third round, he puts on the pressure. So the second and third round, I do think Chris Duncan will go out there and get the knockout. But Slava Borschev, do not sleep on the man. He's got very good kickboxing, and if he can keep range, he can definitely win the fight. But I'm going to go Chris Duncan by a second or third round knockout. Really good fight in the lightweight division, and I definitely agree with these odds. It's a very close fight. I was very surprised when at one point Chris Duncan was a 2-1 favorite. I thought that was absolutely insane. But right now, minus 153, it's pretty much right where he should be, as it is a very close fight, but really good fight in the lightweight division. My prediction, Chris Duncan by a second or third round knockout. Jake Hadley and Mitch Raposo in the flyweight division. Mitch Raposo, only 22, almost 23 years old. Gonna be a little bit less in terms of height and a little bit less in terms of reach right here against Jake Hadley, a very tall, very lengthy fighter in this flyweight division. Really good body kicks, head kicks, leg kicks, jabs, 1-2 is at range, but the game that he really wants to play is, of course, going to be in the wrestling and grappling game. Of course, we do know he's got the kickboxing. He has some pretty solid striking. But if he wants to beat a guy like Mitch Raposo, who has very good speed in his hands, some really good power in his hands as well, you really just need to go out there and mix in the wrestling and grappling. That is the main way you're going to beat a guy like Mitch Raposo, is just to out-wrestle and out-grapple him. If Mitch Raposo is going to win, he needs to defend the takedowns first off, and then come forward, put on the pressure, and just start throwing volume, because Mitch Raposo has the power advantage. He does not have the height and reach advantage, so he needs to, if he's going to be able to land that power, he needs to close the distance. So a high pressure game plan for Mitch Raposo is going to be what gets him the win. But the reason why I don't know if that's really going to fly for Mitch Raposo in a high pressure striking game is if he pressures too much, Jake Hadley is going to take him down, as Mitch Raposo is putting on a little bit too much pressure, overextends on the right hand, he's going to get taken down. So the pressure game of Mitch Raposo, if he's able to defend the takedown, would be a good strategy, but I don't know if he's going to be able to. So either way, in the pressure game, I think Jake Hadley is going to be able to take him down. If he's not pressuring, that's where Jake Hadley is just going to be kickboxing at range. Either way, I think Jake Hadley is going to win the fight. The grappling and the wrestling is much better for Jake Hadley. He's got the better striking at range, and even if the fight goes a short distance where Mitch Raposo has the advantage, Jake Hadley's going to take him down. So it's a pretty simple prediction in my opinion. Jake Hadley winning that fight by 30-27 unanimous decision. I can definitely see a submission win from Jake Hadley right there. But Mitch Raposo has never been finished in his professional MMA career, and he's coming off a decision over Luke Shanks right there. So I see this fight going all the way. Jake Hadley winning the fight by 30-27 unanimous decision. Really good fight in the flyweight division. The odds, I don't know, minus 185 seemed a little bit more reasonable, because Mitch Raposo, if he's able to defend the takedowns, if he is able if he is able to defend the takedowns, he can definitely win the fight because he's going to have more power, more speed, more volume. But it really matters on if he can defend the takedown. So I don't know if he should be a 300 favorite right there, but overall, I'm still going to go Jake Hadley. He's a better striker at range and has the grappling and wrestling advantage. So my prediction, Jake Hadley by unanimous decision. Really good fight in the flyweight division. Lorenzo Hood and Martin Buday in the heavyweight division. Martin Buday, 8 wins and 1 loss. Last fight was only 2 months ago. Going to be the same height. Not too sure about the reach right there, but Lorenzo Hood, in my opinion, is going to have the power advantage, and he's going to have the volume advantage as well. Out of 12 wins and 4 losses, he's lost to some pretty not so good guys. Tyler King, he got submitted by him by front choke submission. Alan Crowder was a no contest right there. Alan Crowder, not necessarily the best opponent. And then Shelton Graves by second round knockout again. Not necessarily the best opponent right there, but either way, I mean, Curtis Blades as well right there, so he's facing some pretty decent competition, but the way that Lorenzo Hood is gonna win the fight is literally just to come forward, put as much pressure as possible on Martin Day, flying knees, spinning elbows, head kicks, big overhand rights. You just need to throw really big shots on Martin Midday, because Martin Midday doesn't throw shots at all. I mean, the volume of Martin Midday is by far his biggest weakness. I mean, I watched one of his fights. It was in like Octagon or something like that, Octagon 43, or Octagon 25 right here against Camille Minda. He did win the fight by second round knockout, but that first round, I don't know what he was doing. He literally was just backing up, just standing on the outside, not throwing anything but like a jab, 1-2 every now and then. He just was not throwing anything really of substance in that first round. Yeah, eventually he came back in that second round and did throw and got the knockout. But right here, Lorenzo Hood, I think Lorenzo Hood could definitely win the fight. Of course, the betting odds don't say it. Minus 410 for Martin Midday right there, and plus 310 for Lorenzo Hood. He's one of the biggest favorites on Dana White's Contender Series this year. But yeah, minus 400, I don't agree with that whatsoever. I think it's a much closer fight, especially as this fight is in the heavyweight division. We did see a fight that happened a couple of like a week or two ago against Lucas Podolski, and his opponent, he was like a minus 400 favorite, and he ended up getting knocked out because he was backing up and wasn't really throwing. That's what happened to Lucas Podolski a couple of weeks ago. And I can definitely see that happening here to Martin Midday. Martin Midday being a guy that really just does not throw enough volume and just keeps on going in backwards lines, staying on the outside, just keep on going on the back foot. Lorenzo Hood, all he really has to do is keep on coming forward and time a big overhand right and knock out Martin Midday. I know a lot of you guys aren't really going to agree with me on this one because he is a very big underdog, but I'm going to go Lorenzo Hood right here. It's like one of my biggest underdog picks I have ever picked. Of course, most likely, the humongous favorite in Martin Midday is probably going to win, as he does do very good in the second and third round. But I do think Lorenzo Hood is going to throw more volume, put on more pressure, land the bigger shots on Martin Midday. And as Martin Midday just keeps on backing up, he's going to walk right into a Lorenzo Hood overhand right or left hook, and he's going to get knocked out. Really good fight in the heavyweight division. Again, I do not agree with these betting odds whatsoever. Should be, I honestly think it should be like a minus 110, a minus 110 fight. Martin Midday is overall the more technical striker. Maybe he's going to land more volume as the fight does go on, but Lorenzo Hood, I think he's going to come forward, and I do think he's going to knock out Martin Midday right here. I know. It's a plus 400 underdog right here. Literally 11% have Hood winning, but I'm one of those 11%. I'm gonna go Lorenzo Hood by knockout in the very first round right there. Really good fight in the heavyweight division. Junior Cortez and Christian Rodriguez in the bantamweight division. The main event for Dana White's Contender Series 2021 Week 7. And guess what, guys? Junior Cortez is Tracy Cortez, Brian Ortega's girlfriend or wife. I'm not too sure. But this is her brother right there. Junior Cortez also has very good wrestling. I'm going to have the same height, same reach as the opponent in Christian Rodriguez. But the wrestling and the grappling game is very good. Second round knockout win by ground and pound. Second round knockout win by ground and knockout. Only one loss to 3 and 4 guy right there. But the main thing you really want to know with Junior Cortez, he's got some very, very solid wrestling. Rodriguez is a very, very heavy favorite on these Tapology predictions with 5 wins and 0 losses. Coming off a third round knockout win right there, rear naked, knees to ground and pound, and then 2 more finishes right there. So every single fight being a finish for Christian Rodriguez, and almost every single fight being a finish for Junior Cortez right there. But the wrestling and the grappling is going to be very, very even. Christian Rodriguez, I believe, is going to have the better Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, have the better grappling than Junior Cortez. The wrestling is going to be super, super even. But the striking, I do think, goes to Christian Rodriguez. It's going to be a very, very even fight. Junior Cortez, if he's going to win, the only way I see him winning is literally just to take down Christian Rodriguez. And if Christian is just going for triangles, going for arm bars on bottom, not able to latch one in, Junior Cortez can definitely win the fight that way, just staying on top in the close guard of Christian Rodriguez and just keeps on ground pounding for the decision win. But I don't think Christian Rodriguez is dumb enough to do that. He's going to have the better striking. He's got more power, puts on way more pressure, and just throws a lot more volume than Junior Cortez. So on the feet, that is where I do think the fight will be decided, because in the grappling and the wrestling, it's going to be super, super even. Yeah, I do think the wrestling is 50-50. I do think Christian will have the grappling advantage. But again, like Kamaru and Colby Covington, when these type of fights do happen, we don't necessarily really see them actually wrestle and grapple, because they're both so good in the wrestling and grappling game, and so even in the wrestling and grappling game. So I do think the fight does stay on the feet, and I do think the better striker in Christian Rodriguez goes out there and wins the fight by decision. He got way more power than Junior Cortez, has way more speed than Junior Cortez, and if he can just come forward, put on the pressure, I can definitely see Christian Rodriguez getting a finish on Junior Cortez. But most likely than not, the fight will go all the way. Christian Rodriguez, in my opinion, outstriking Junior Cortez for 3 straight rounds. 30-27 decision win for Christian Rodriguez right there. Really good fight in the bantamweight division. The betting odds at -190 and +165. I think it's a little bit closer, maybe like a -155, -160, somewhere around the range. But overall, very good fight in the bantamweight division. My prediction, Christian Rodriguez by decision. Really good fight right there. That is my full card prediction for Dana White's Contender Series 2021, Week 7 in the main event. I got Christian Rodriguez outstriking a Junior Cortez in pretty much every single round, keeping the wrestling and grappling even and winning the fight by decision. I got Lorenzo Hood, a very big underdog at 4-1, winning that fight by knockout in the very first round. Jake Hadley winning the fight in the grappling and wrestling game by unanimous decision. Chris Duncan by 2nd or 3rd round knockout, and then Maria Silva by a decision right there. Really good fights on Dana White's Contender Series Week 7. If you guys want to know my bets that I'm going to be making for Dana White's Contender Series 2021 Week 7, I will be announcing them to all of my channel members later on today. So if you want to become a member and see my bets for Dana White's Contender Series, go to the description below or the comment section below and become a member today. But thank you guys for watching. That is my full card prediction. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and everything like that. And we'll see you in the next video. Let's go.